I have no idea if I'm just going mad or this is like the best thing I've ever seen.
I need to know. I need to know. Is this good? Is this bad?
Someone please tell us. Like, if you
tell us if it's good or bad.
Yeah, I need. I don't know what the measuring stick here is. So yeah, let us know in the comments because I need someone to tell me. Welcome to another brand new episode of Undisputed Anime. It's your boys, me and him. That's Susu Day. I'm Zane, and we love to give you anime recommendations. That intro has gotten away from me. I haven't done an intro what feels like forever, and that's already gotten away from me.
Yeah, I mean, like the last episode was the interview.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
and before that, we had been doing this just going straight into the show,
just chatting.
Just doing a little bit of a chat. Yes.
So, but hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening and watching. This week we thought it'd be cool to maybe just kind of catch up, like where we are with the things that we're watching, and yeah, just talk about some anime.
It's been a while. It has been a while. Like we've both been busy.
Yeah.
And we're about to be busy. As you'll notice, it's probably more apparent from my space than it is from Zane's, but it is nighttime. And that's because it is Friday evening, not Saturday.
Not Saturday morning, like we normally do.
I am very busy this coming weekend. I won't go into all the details. My credit card is sad.
Yeah, I mean, we had to make sure we could squeeze in some time where you could play Persona 3, your other commitments, and God knows what's going to happen to you when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gets here. Like, you're just going to be incognito, like, off the grid.
You know what? I might need a break at that point, so it might be fine. I might need to step away for a little bit, because, I mean, it comes out on a Thursday. And I've got the Thursday and the Friday off, so I think maybe we'll be fine. Maybe I'll need to step away and talk about anime just to like decompress.
It's not a bad idea. Next time you'll be on the podcast, you'll look like Nomad Captain America, where he had like a huge beard and his hair like completely grew out. And
yeah, absolutely. Maybe.
Did you have a good Pancake Day?
Pancake Day is a great day, and I wish there were several Pancake Days a year.
Me too.
There are, because literally you can make pancakes whenever you want. I don't know why we need the calendar to tell us when we can make pancakes. And I do. I make pancakes pretty regularly with my daughter.
Top 3 toppings?
It depends on the sort of pancake.
Yeah.
So if it's an English pancake, I just want lemon and sugar.
What's an English pancake?
So an English pancake is more akin to a crepe, but it's not a crepe. It's just like the traditional pancake of Shrove Tuesdays, the one that you have with lemon and sugar. So I love those pancakes. Very easy to make. American pancakes though, maple syrup, butter, bacon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, you want to do it right. If you can do American pancakes, you gotta like have all the works.
You go all in. You can't dilly dally.
You don't do it like by halves. So what about you?
I'm a big fruit guy. Like I love my bananas. I love my strawberries. So I never mix. I'm either one or the other. With some Nutella, peanut butter. Yeah.
Very good. And for those of you who do not live in the UK, we have a wonderful holiday day which is called Shrove Tuesday. And it is the final. I'm going to just read as it is. It's the final day of Shrovetide, and it marks the end of pre-Lent.
Ah, yes.
So, if you are religious in any capacity in the UK, you probably understand that much more than me. I just know that on Shrove Tuesday I get pancakes, and this time around I got pancakes, and then I got to go and play D&D. So that was pretty fun.
Living that life. Wow. Cool. Which segment do you want to do first?
Well, I think a good place to start, probably, I mean, this is another reason why we've been apart for so long. You went to AnimeCon.
I did, yeah, in London.
And you and like, I mean, we've had private conversations, but you know, so
yeah.
how was that for you? How was that?
It was really good, really fun. I went on the Saturday, and first of all, thank you to the press team, the media team, as well as Lauren, who was on, as you say, our last show. They've been fantastic in terms of, you know, media passes and things of that nature. So thank you to everyone at AnimeCon for the invite. It was really well, really nice to be welcomed and stuff. But yeah, the con itself, it was really interesting because the venue was just so huge. It was like absolutely massive. And I don't think I've ever been in a venue like that before, because historically it was made for like events in terms of like music events and raves and things of that nature. So as you can imagine, it's just like this huge space, which was sectioned off for different things and such. But you know, it's crazy that they had a stage for, you know, all the guests to come on for paneling and stuff, but right next to it there's still a huge like tent for a silent disco. It's just like,
I mean, size wise, because I don't think I really got it from like what all the stuff you were telling me, but like, how does it like in terms of like the actual con space, how does it compare to MCM? Because obviously that was at the XL, wasn't it?
it was at the XL, yeah.
And it's that itself. I don't think I'd ever been in such a big like event space before that wasn't outside. So it's kind of like I can't imagine anything in this country anyway being any bigger than that.
Yeah, I would say it's probably not as big as MCM in the XL, especially because this was the first time they had done it in London.
Yeah.
But it was still what would be interesting is how big it is compared to Birmingham in the NEC, because I'm kind of struggling to remember the size of NEC, but yeah, I wouldn't say it was as big as MCM London in the XL.
Okay, cool.
But there was some great things there. Loads of independent artists and creators. Artist Alley was huge. I think I sent a text saying it's probably a good thing you didn't come, because
I don't have the war space, nor do I have the capital right now to be buying that much art. So
yeah. So no, that was cool. I met photographers and cosplayers and stuff, which was really cool, and catched up with other content creators in our podcast space and stuff, which was nice. But yeah, I just had like a great time, really. I spent a lot of time at a Gunpla stall, and
you always like I've been to like I've been to 2 cons with you.
Yeah.
And on both occasions, you spent a lot of time in and going back to the shops that had the Gunpla.
Yeah. I have to thank those people for their patience, because like I went back, I did go there twice, because it was the first thing I saw and it was the first thing I went to. And then after I did some shooting and things, I went back round. They gave me a catalogue and I said like, look, I'm new to Gunpla. And they were really patient with me and talked me through options and stuff, which was really nice. And I ended up buying what they call an SD version of Ariel from Witch from Mercury. So again, their recommendation was really cool. I'll probably pop a link in the description to their site or their Instagram or something, because again, they were really great.
Fantastic.
But yeah, overall great. Waterstones was there with a whole collection of manga, which again I purchased. But yeah, it was really cool.
Please say, like, I mean, and it sounds like it's something that can only get better as time goes on. Like, it sounds like a good thing that can only get more good.
Yeah, and like you said, over time, I'm hoping it means that more businesses that are in this space, you know, for not only for Artist Alley, but you know, Gunpla, retailers, and anyone else who's in this sort of space, hopefully it will balloon out a lot more. So yeah, I really am looking forward to the future.
No, absolutely. Honestly, I wasn't there. I wasn't there, so I don't really have a lot to say. It looked like fun as hell. The only thing that like disappointed me a little bit was that it came so early in the year, because like, you know, for a lot of people, like this time of year, it's a tight for money. Like, you've just had Christmas, and it's like you're just getting back on your feet at the beginning of the new year, aren't you? So it's like, because I would have loved to have done another like Contra. Absolutely would have been there.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, the January drought, it can feel a bit real sometimes. But the good thing is, like, this convention is happening twice a year. So now London's happened. We've got Birmingham to look forward to in June, which I believe is the 15th and 16th.
15th and 16th, fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah, it again, it means there's more choice for people. Maybe if you live closer to London, the London one's better suited because it's not far to travel, etc. Birmingham, again, like you pointed out, maybe when the timing's right during the summer and everything else, Birmingham might be the one to go to for you. So yeah, it means more choice and more availability.
Hey, I've got I know that we both know a gentleman who is getting married that month, who might need a little trip to a con as a pre-wedding. So
I think a stag do, as I don't know, maybe as the Naruto generation,
we'll
would be cool.
see. If anything, me and you gotta get him to Anime Con Birmingham, especially because it's much more local to him.
Yes.
So he's got no excuse. We're gonna get him there. We got at least get us in for a day. Watch out! We're coming. We are coming.
There's usually an after party as well, and that was something else I got invited to, but the travel just tired me out, and it was kind of, you know, long. So I just
you
kind
did
of
it.
wanted to.
You did it all in one day, didn't you? Because I mean, MCM was a long one, but we at least had the benefit of like a night and then a second day to kind of take in the rest of it. You did everything in the one day.
Yeah. So yeah, but again, definitely worth it. I had a great time and some great memories.
Good. More to come.
Absolutely. Cool. Do you want to talk about some anime?
Yeah, and we're just talking about anime that we have been watching recently. Is that right? Is that what we decided on?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come straight out of it. I've been watching a lot more anime of late, partly as a result of mine and my dear partner Kira's binge of season 2 of JJK.
Yes.
But yeah, so my scope of my anime watching has been maybe a bit more narrow. But we'll see. Got some fun stuff in there.
Yeah. Hit me with something. Do you want to talk about JJK season 2? I know we really haven't because you've just caught up.
Oh, so yeah, I mean JJK season 2, absolutely fantastic. Like it's one of those things where it's like I watched the whole of it and I was like, oh, those poor animators, because obviously that's all came out since it started and whatnot. And I was absolutely in awe of what they were able to do under those circumstances. It was absolutely insane. And do you know what? Like, we finished season 2 and then my wife literally turned to me and she said, "Can we start season 1 again?" And then we watched,
Really?
and we then binge watched all of season 1 again, and now we're maybe not every like binging it anymore, but every now and then we're like, "Do you want to continue watching JJK?" So we're on our second run through of season 2 right now.
Wow. Whereabouts are you in the second run?
So we have just done the prequel.
Okay,
With,
yeah. The
we're
inventory arc.
yeah. So we've literally just finished the hidden inventory arc,
Mhm.
and we'll be moving on to the Shibuya arc shortly
Mm.
again. So
Has anything changed the second time round you watched it? Like, are you watching sub then dubbed, or
we it was a bit of a mix before.
yeah?
I think because you know what, I think we did. Well, the first time we watched it completely. We watched it dubbed all the way through, but only
Okay.
because my wife was doing a lot of crafting at the time, so she's wanting to not have to be able to focus on the subtitles.
Mhm.
I think on our second playthrough, we've been kind of watching it like subbed again. I think
Yeah.
it's been a bit on and off. I'm trying to be a bit more open to dubbing though. Like it's not that I've hated dubbing in the past. It's just that I think
Mm.
my initial experiences of it throughout my life have always been pretty badly done.
Yeah.
So I think that's turned me off. But then like I said, we watched like the entirety of season 2 of JJK, like dubbed, and I
Mm.
really enjoyed it still. I think that it's just because now the anime is such a big deal to
Mhm.
a lot of people. I think that they're investing the same sort of like care
Yeah.
into the voice work as they do in any other sort of media.
Mm.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think dubbing has never been this good.
yeah,
Like, it is very, very good. You still probably get the odd kind of like questionable ones, but yeah, especially for the big series like JJK, I think the dubbing's
yeah.
really, really good.
It also helps
Um,
that it also really helps that like now there's a lot more input by the voice actors themselves in
mm,
finding the best way to make something make sense in a scene. It's like I
yeah.
feel like before when you're like they were like dubbing, it was like a lot of like this is what is said in the original material, so this is what you need to say. But now it's kind of
Hmm.
like maybe that doesn't make sense in this context. It's like I mean a great example of that is obviously in the season 1 double JJK, where you got Itadori talking about Jennifer Lawrence
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That's obviously not in the original like material.
Oh, do you mean the Megan the Stallion line
Oh
versus
yes,
the
Megan. Sorry,
Jennifer
it's Jennifer
Lawrence?
Lawrence in the yeah. Sorry, that's what it is.
No, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, 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 uh, yeah. I feel like they have a little bit more input, and they could put a little bit more, make these characters feel a little bit more alive.
Yeah,
Than, like you said, going into booth just reading off lines and calling it a day. So,
yeah,
yeah, and a lot of them seem to be fans
yeah.
of this as well. Like,
That's
they've all
also
grown
the
up.
that's it.
Yeah,
That's a big deal now.
so that's really cool. Excellent. Anything else about JJK?
I mean, I felt it's just held up very well as an anime. You know,
Mm,
it's exactly what you want in it, and I
yeah.
think that the anime, because of the way that the anime is put together, and that you got season 1 and season 2 completely out now, it doesn't suffer in the way that some people feel that the manga is suffering right now. In that, like, there's just so much going on,
Hmm.
which is all loose ends.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're watching the anime, it's like kind of like you got to start, you got to finish. You know where you're at. There's no room for like ambiguity. It's like literally just you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. And they've really bolstered out like some of those fights as well. Like
Yeah,
the Magaraha fight is, because half of that stuff isn't even in the manga. Like, him
yeah,
walking towards Sukuna during the domain expansion, that's not in the manga, but it just adds more to it. Sukuna like looking like he's almost dancing in the destruction and chaos. There's like a wide shot and it looks amazing. But yeah, things like that are just not in the manga, but it still adds beautiful texture to it. I really like it.
So it's been done very well, and I can't wait for the next season to come out. So, what have you been watching? What have you been up to?
I'll tell you what. It's funny you should mention JJK because I watched a brand new series. Let me share my screen, which is called Ninja Kamui. Yeah, Kamui.
Ninja.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Ninja Kamui.
Yeah. Now, the reason this has ties to JJK is because the director of season 1 went on to create his own studio, and this is the second project to come out of that studio. I think the first one might have been that One Piece monster story about the samurai that we watched on Netflix.
Okay.
But this is the second project to come out of it, and the animation in this, oh my god, is so good. There's, as the time of recording, there's only one episode, and the first episode was insane. Animation in the first episode is, even the story of the first episode is just blown me away. I couldn't believe it. Here's the footnote. Basically, there's a guy who lives on a farm, has a wife and a child, and as the story goes on, you find out there's like these special ops ninjas, and the worst case scenario happens. Like, spoilers, but it's in the footnotes, but this, team of assassins come after him, and the whole story is about him taking out the assassin organization. But the choreograph, the fights are just incredible.
Sounds very Kill Bill. So
yeah, I'd say that. It probably gives that sense of Kill Bill, John Wick, because it seems like he wasn't a retired assassin, and now he's like getting back into it, sort of thing. So yeah, it's very, very cool.
High octane,
high frame rate. Is probably the best thing. But yeah, incredible. Oddly, with Warner Brothers, it's not like a Crunchyroll thing. I think it's like on HBO Max or something like that. I had to.
So is Warner Bros. Dipping their toe in?
Because when it opens with Adult Swim, and
okay.
I think I've seen someone mention like it was on Toonami. So yeah, here in the UK, I had to, use Surfshark to get access to it.
What a plug!
But yeah, absolutely, definitely get time to watch this because you will not regret it. Except for if you're a child who's not 18, this is not for you.
We cannot condone you seeking out and watching such things.
Yeah,
stay on your child account on Netflix.
Absolutely.
Sorry, kids. Sorry, children.
When you're older, it'll be worth it. But yeah, absolutely love it.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to have to check that out.
Please do. Please do. What's next?
Can we talk about our Lord Solo Leveling?
Yes.
Because I am freaking loving the Solo Leveling anime. And I'm already looking forward to season 1 ending so I can convince my wife to watch it with me.
I've been really enjoying this.
It's so good. It's been so well adapted.
Absolutely.
I think. I know that there is probably like a group out there who disagrees with that. I think it's been done incredibly well.
Yeah. It's one of those. Again, it sounds really sad, but I really look forward to seeing this week to week. Like, I really can't wait till Saturday or the weekend when this rolls out, and I'm like, oh, Solo Leveling! It's a new episode this week.
Yeah. Usually I get up. Usually, if I wake up early at the weekends, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna like get a couple of hours of gaming in before I have to adult. But lately, like last couple of weeks, it's been like if I've gotten up early, I've gone downstairs, I've gotten myself like a hot drink, and then I've like sat down, and the first thing I've done is like, okay, let's watch Solo Leveling. Like it's like watching like Saturday morning cartoons. Like that's how I feel while I'm doing it. I'm like, this is like me reclaiming that for myself.
Yeah, I completely agree. Excuse me. One thing I think they've done really well is just they really capture the intensity of the fights. Like him fighting the giant snake serpent. I was kind of like, oh, is it gonna give me that feeling of, is Jin gonna survive this and stuff?
When he's clutched onto its bloody neck, and it's just like, and he's getting like thrown around. It is,
yeah,
so good.
It delivers so well.
Are you up to date? You're up to date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, up to date.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to do this with Zane yet, so I'm just doing this now. So if there's a spoiler, I'm really sorry. So how good was that scene where obviously the other group of hunters has turned on them?
Yes.
And he's been struck down and he's gotten back up and he's like doing his internal monologue about how the weak get hunted and only the strong survive and stuff like that. And then that guy comes over and he puts his hand on his shoulder, and then all of a sudden you just see him slit his throat, just so emotionlessly cool. Like
it's amazing, and it's kind of it's what I really like as well is the way that the anime really pushes like the game system that's like helped him along this way has also pushed him to be like, you need to take these guys out. You know what I mean? Because it comes up with a counter and he's like, it's telling me I need to do this. And it then allows him to spiral into those, like you said, those like emotions to kind of
and that, I mean, that's what I always loved about the manhwa as well. Like the way, because we've seen game systems in like anime before. It's like, but like the way that it was handled in Solo Leveling has been really good. Because like I feel like in the past, whenever a game system has been about, it's been merely just a way. It just makes them strong, and there's not really any consequence. But in like Solo Leveling, it's like you've got this system which is it's making you strong, but it's not without consequence. It's like literally like, hey, you're gonna, like, if you want to survive, like this system isn't quite your friend. Like if you do not do what the system tells you to do, you're gonna die. Like your heart will stop. So it's like,
or you end up in like some wasteland running from monsters and stuff.
So it's like, so I'm already looking forward to I'm gonna say Sunday morning, because unfortunately I will not have the chance to watch tomorrow morning. But I'm already looking forward to the next episode and seeing where we go next. So
I'm really looking forward to the fight with the Red Knight. I remember reading that and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible.
It's going to be so incredible.
Yeah.
So good. And I think that, and like I said, I think that that's the series will end shortly after that whole encounter.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
because that feels like as a story point to stop on for season 2 to begin. Perfect place to stop.
Yeah, A1 Pictures have just been knocking it out of the park with it, really.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did a movie or something. Like, I don't know what about, but
I honestly would love to watch it. I would love to just let me see it. Put it in my boats.
Excellent. Is it my turn?
It is, yeah. Unless you were going to say solo leveling, then we can just talk about solo leveling some more.
Let's talk about this one. I think you'll really like this one. So I have been watching Delicious in the Dungeon on Netflix, and it is fantastic. It just warms. It gives me that fuzzy feeling. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of. It's all about food. I don't know. It's really weird because it's all set in a dungeon and it's about monsters and trying to survive, but also it's like has this warm center about food and stuff. So yeah,
there is something like very wholesome and good about an anime that focuses around food.
Yeah,
as its like gimmick. Like I think people have typically really enjoyed stuff like that. It's like obviously you got Food Wars,
yeah,
which has got it's got appeal for other reasons for other people. But I think at the heart of it, like what I really enjoyed about reading Food Wars was the foods. Like I loved seeing all these like wacky, like crazy, like meals, like with these unusual like ingredients and stuff. Same with like things like Yakitaki Japan. Like that's an anime about bread. Couldn't get enough of
it. And then there's the one we had recently where what was the isekai one called with the wolf god?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't think of what its actual title is.
Yeah.
I've got a copy of like the light novel downstairs.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like you said, I think it's more about the appreciation of different methods of cooking and looking at some ingredients that come from monsters. The other thing with this is that it's actually really, really funny. Like it generally makes me giggle and laugh. And because it's on Netflix, the dub version is available and the dubbing is really, really good.
Isn't Delicious in a Dungeon the one where Emily Rudd has made her anime dubbing debut?
Yes, she has. Yeah. Very, very good. Very,
fantastic!
Very good.
I hope when I heard, I hope that'd be the case because I think she did such a good job as Nami, like, and I know that she is a fan of like anime and stuff like that, manga. So
her delivery, I can't think of the character's name, but it's the elf in the group. Really, really good. Marcel, I think maybe. But yeah, really, really great. And the only gripe I have with it is that the whole premise of this is that it's a party of heroes. One of the party members gets eaten by a dragon, and so but the party teleports out of the dungeon. So the remaining members, the whole idea is that they're trying to get back to that level to save their party member because one of them, it's their sister. So they want to get back to that level, defeat the dragon and save the sister. But as they go on this journey, they just seem to be taking their time to be like, oh, it's lunchtime. Let's have a meal and, find like fish man and then like, chop his seaweed hair and make a stew out of it and stuff. So it's kind of like weird because there's like no urgency because they're taking the time to have like these succulent monster meals. But again, it's very, very fun and doesn't take itself too seriously.
But that's always fun. You don't want an anime like that to take itself too seriously. So pleased to hear that it's enjoyable. Definitely will pop it on my list to give it a watch. I am making a commitment this year to get much more anime into my system. So
I think you'll really like it, knowing how much you like food-based anime series and stuff. I think you'll really like it. It's by Studio Trigger. The color palette's amazing. The animation's very, very clean. What more can I say?
what more could you want? Yeah, exactly. Definitely one to watch for. My next one.
Yeah.
We don't need to go into this too much. I think we've talked about this a couple of times already. But I'm still watching on a weekly basis and really enjoying it. That's Free Ren, Beyond Journey's End. Still just really loving the hell out of it. It's such a beautiful story and a beautiful world. The fights are the action that happens in it is, it's not every single episode, but when it does happen, it's incredibly animated and incredibly well thought out and stuff. So
it's so powerful. Just the level of thought that goes into it and the way it's executed and stuff. Like, here we have a character whose whole complexity is around how they make use of their time and the people around them and stuff. It is really powerful. Admittedly, I think I'm only about 7 episodes in. I know there's over 20 currently, but I've really enjoyed what I've seen so far of this.
Yeah, it's so good. It was you and another friend who had told me that I needed to watch it. I decided I'd sit down, and the moment I started watching it, it became oh, well, I've actually just watched 5 episodes. I have to go to sleep now. It's 2:30 a.m. I was only meant to watch the one, and then that whole week became me watching 4 or 5 episodes every single night until I got up to date. And now I'm in the same way as Solo Leveling, I'm excited every single week to actually get back in and see where the story goes, because I think that in the past, when I've started watching an anime that I've not read the manga for, I've immediately jumped into wherever I can find the manga and I've read it up to date, so I get ahead of the anime. But this time around, I still haven't. I don't have any idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm just enjoying it week for week. Maybe if it ends and it's oh, there's going to be a season 2, I'll be okay, now I need to read, because I would like to know what happens in it. Who knows how many years it'll be until we get a season 2. But at least for now, I'm quite happy just watching it week by week. So
that's really cool. I like that. I did see someone on TikTok, I think it was, mention that this is this should be called the side quest anime, because all of the things that Free Ren does are almost like side quests.
It is exactly like that.
Because they have defeated the main villain, but it's almost like the aftermath of that. It's almost like after the end credits roll, what happens then?
Yeah, it's what happens after the world has been saved, and it's a really interesting way of going about it, because obviously Free Ren is an elf, and she's outliving all of her companions that she went on that journey with.
Yeah,
and time is completely different for her because she's such a long-lived race, and so not only is it really interesting to see how a member of the party of heroes that destroyed, beat the demon god, the demon king, goes on afterwards, what happens to them afterwards. It's also a really interesting take on how long-lived fantasy characters live in a world where not everyone, well, very few people live as long as them.
Yeah. It's there's so many different levels to it as well. I really appreciate it. I love Stark's character, where he's this pretend warrior who has all these self-doubts and
he's got such high anxiety, and he's a coward.
Yeah.
And he just wants to have an easy life.
Yet is like overpowered like crazy, and almost doesn't realize like how strong he is.
Yeah, well, because he was trained by another one of the party of heroes. Like he was trained by like the dwarf of the party who was like their warrior,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and stuff. So that's why he was recommended to join their party, is because he
Mm.
was like this guy's disciple. So he's like
Yeah.
crazy. So like, I mean, the first time you see him fight, it's against a like red dragon and
Mm.
stuff like that, and you're like, oh, they're gonna intervene with magic in a minute. It's like, no, he absolutely obliterates
Single-handedly,
yeah, this
like
dragon, and you're like, and he's like crying the whole time. He's like, I can't do this, I can't do this.
um incredible.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed this series.
Yeah,
I just need to give it more time.
yeah, you got a lot on your plate, but if you get a couple of hours,
Mm.
maybe forgo that one other thing you need to do and watch another couple of episodes.
Yeah, just binge a couple of episodes. I think I need to follow suit.
Yeah.
Um, good choice. Good pick. Good pick. Um, bum. What else have I been watching? I watched the first 3 episodes of um this series, which is called The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. Have you
See,
heard of this?
I have heard of this.
Uh-huh.
So I was like scrolling Crunchyroll because I was looking for new things to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this title and I was like, oh, that I think that I know what that is, because I had been reading a manga about a healer who uses his healing like kind of in the wrong way, or he's like leveled up in the wrong way, but it's actually a
Uh-huh.
different story entirely.
Was it?
Because the story, the manga that I've been reading is about a group of what is about a guy who alongside two other people from his high school gets
Mm-hmm.
summoned to a fantasy world to be
Yeah.
the heroes that defeat the demon king or and save the world and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And they get like ranked, and one of them's like a really like got really high strength, so he's like naturally he's going to be a paladin, and like the kingdom loves him. The girl becomes like is like really good at magic, and she becomes like the like one of the most powerful wizards and stuff like that. And he's
Right.
actually like ranked as like having a really high healing ability, but like with a video game, when they first get there they have stat points that they have to allocate, and
Oh, okay.
he without talking to anyone, he just allocates all of most of his stat points into evasion, because because his healing potential is already so strong. He's like, it'll be wasted me putting stats into that. So if
Uh-huh.
what better a thing would be a healer that cannot be hit. So and because he wasted his stats like this, he gets kind of like outcast by the kingdom.
Oh,
um
wow.
and he goes on to just be an adventurer on his own. And but basically he's like this, he's got such a high like evasion stat, like monsters like attack him and his body just automatically just dodges. And I think that there was an occasion in it where he actually got downed by a trap. Like he actually got like put down like paralyzed by a trap. So he's
Oh,
like
wow.
lying in this dungeon and there are monsters
Uh-huh.
all over the place, and this slime comes over and this slime's trying to attack him, but even though his body's paralyzed, every time this slime tries to attack him his body's just like rolling away and stuff like that. And it's a really like fun like manga. But I hear that this one is about a healer who's got like crazy good a crazy strong body and really good regeneration. So he
Yes.
uses his healing magic to fight as a close quarters combatant, like kind of like he's using reverse curse technique
Yeah,
to heal
yeah.
himself.
Yeah. It's surprising how close that sounded to this, because like you said, he gets isekai'd with two other school friends. Um, but it's an accident that he gets summoned, mainly because he was walking home with them at the same time, and the two
Hmm.
friends could hear bell rings and all sorts, which meant like they were the chosen ones. Um, But yeah, like you said, they do like a test to find out what their powers are and stuff. The one guy turns out to have light magic. The girl has lightning magic, and this guy has healing magic. And the whole the whole kind of court, the king's court, are like, oh no, we need to keep this a secret because if this gets out, it could be really dangerous. And like an idiot, he's like, so why is my healing magic dangerous? And this one person overhears it, and it turns out this person is a captain of these soldiers and stuff, and she is also a healer because it's very rare magic apparently. And like you said, she trains him to strengthen his body and everything else, like super intense training, but almost use that healing magic to rejuvenate himself so he doesn't get tired, so he can run longer. Instead of 5k, he can run 10k. He could bench more because he's instantly healing his body. So yeah, it's very, very interesting way.
That's bananas.
Yeah, almost guys like building himself like a Wolverine where he's constantly healing, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm enjoying it. Animation is kind of hearsay. It's nothing like to the extent of JJK. It's very middle of the road, but it's goofy and it's kind of fun in that regard.
Fun. That's I mean, that's all you can hope for. You I think that a lot of the time these days when I look at watching anime, I either want something that's very the same or I want something that's very different.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah, really fun. Any others you wanted to highlight or mention?
Honorable mention, as I mentioned in the last episode we did, I've had the Mashal season 2 opening sequence song stuck in my head. Plays in my head every day at some point. So I was like, you know what, let's go back and finish watching Mashal. So I've gone back. I've continued watching season 1. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it, I just got busy. So I've gone back to like watching like Mashal. I started watching it dubbed because I was like, oh, I'm doing some other stuff, I'll just watch it dubbed. I really, really, really love the Mash's like English dub.
Really?
I really love his character's English dub and some of the other characters, but then there are a couple of other characters whose voices kind of grate on me.
Okay.
So I had to go back to watching the sub because I was like, I can tolerate it in the Japanese, but in the English, it's just a bit too much for me.
Oh wow. I need to finish season 1 and make a start on season 2 because like you said, it's been on my watch list, but I just never really commit.
And it's such a fun premise, to be honest. As someone I've read the manga from like start to finish, and it was such an enjoyable like story that just kind of stayed true to itself throughout.
Yeah. And yeah, it's always full of like barrels of laughs as well, right?
Yeah, it's like a gag. It's a gag manga at the end of the day, and it's fun.
So. Yeah, now season 1's dubbed. That's not a bad idea actually. I might just watch it all the way through. Because again, I don't think it's a massive amount of episodes for season 1.
Get on it.
Let's have a quick look. 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Could watch that in a day.
Yeah, it's really not a lot at all.
Good shout. This one. This honestly might be the pick of the season for me.
Might be it for you.
Yeah. Oh my god. Metallic Rouge.
Yes, this is on my list. I've not started it yet, but I'd love to hear great things about it.
Oh, it is so good. Yet so many questions still around it. Like, the world building's great. It's all to do with like robots and, well, more so androids and things. So where do I start? There's androids in this world, and it's kind of similar to, you remember that Spielberg movie AI, or
oh yeah, with Haley Joel Osment.
yeah, with Sora. Or you could say it's similar to some ways to iRobot with Will Smith. But this world has androids that serve humans, and basically
they always do. In the beginning, they do.
But there's like this whole conversation about the way humans treat androids.
Always is. Here we go.
Yeah, as second.
Give me those tropes.
Second type citizens and stuff. But there is a red figure that goes around killing what seems to be humans, which actually turn out to be androids that have some mystique about them. Like there's some that are just kind of like, I don't know. Again, there's still lots of mystery around it. There's only 5 episodes so far, so not all the questions.
Good time to jump in then.
But the characters are amazing. I love the opening sequence. It's very futuristic Tokyo pop like sort of thing. Yeah, it's just incredible. The colors are amazing. I know it sounds, again, very minimal, but I just can't tell you how great this series is. And it's to celebrate Bone Studio. It's all to do with Bone Studio's 25th anniversary. The same people who make My Hero Academia. They've made this series, and it's just fantastic.
I mean, you've given some pretty stellar praise there. So, I mean, if anyone had doubts, cast those doubts to the side. Papa Zane is giving you the real good info.
I could really imagine this being live action. Like, I shouldn't, but I'm really enjoying it so much that I happily see this in any other form. And yeah, I just love the characters in this and their design and their I just love this so much. I don't know how to
You can't put it any more.
Yeah. I don't know how to put it into words.
I mean, you couldn't go any further than that. That's pretty stellar. So
any other picks for you?
No, that for me, that's it. Like, I've every now and then when I don't really want a game, I'll have a quick look. I'll have a quick look at Crunchyroll, see is there anything that takes my takes my fancy right now. But usually when I'm feeling like that, it's because I've not got the bandwidth to do something that's gonna take up a lot of my attention. So that in like instances like that, I'll just pop on YouTube, or I'll listen to a podcast or play Star Rail on my phone or something. Just something easy.
I'm just going to blast through these honorable mentions real quick.
Oh, you've been a busy boy.
I know. This is why I've got so many to carry on watching. This series, Buchigiri, thank you. Hilarious series. It's about a guy who's in a school. The school is just run by delinquents. Everyone's in a gang. Everyone loves to fight hand to hand. And this guy doesn't. He just fancies a girl. And one day he's getting bullied and beaten up and doesn't want to fight. And he finds a genie. And the genie's like, you got to fight because I love fighting. Because I come from a time when fighting was fun, and you got to find your rival in life and get some muscles and fight. And this kid's like, I don't want to fight. And then basically he ends up going on a date with a girl, and the girl's older brother's like, you can't date my sister. And he's like, I have to fight him. I have to fight him.
Isn't this Scott Pilgrim?
The only difference is he says he has to fight him. And the genie gets really excited, and the genie's like, yes, tell me why you have to fight him. And he's like, because I need to lose my V plates. So the genie accidentally gives him this super overpowering fighting ability. And yeah, it's just fun, hilarious, stupid. But the hand-to-hand is amazing because it's done by Mappa.
It's real good stuff.
Who doesn't
I like that a lot.
Yeah. And then he has like these back and forth arguments with the genie, and everyone else can't see the genie. So it just looks like he's having some sort of weird internal fight.
Always is. It's always the way, isn't it?
Absolutely. I also watched this, the first 3 episodes of Ishura, which is available on Disney Plus. Really, really weird. I'm not sure if it's amazing or just just awful. It's an isekai. It's an isekai. Every episode's different, and every episode's different. Here's the footnotes. It's an isekai. The first episode is hilarious in the wrong ways, but it's about like a nice fantasy town. They learn magic. They also learn that people from other worlds can't use this world's magic, so they are stronger in other ways, but not in magic. A giant golem attacks the town, and it's very visual. Like, it's very like, wow. Basically, a guy turns up with a samurai sword and what looks like an Adidas tracksuit, and he's like, "This is
an Adidas tracksuit."
And he's like, "This looks like it could be fun. Like, I could go wild." And the girl's like, "What? Are you serious?" Like, and he's like, you know, that whole kind of Sonic the Hedgehog like attitude, like he's like, yeah, this is gonna be fun, like, sort of thing. Anyway, he single-handedly takes down this like city massive size golem with just a katana, and he's like, yeah, that was amazing, that I had such a fun time. And she's like, you've single-handedly destroyed half my city by like, with your reckless fighting. Like,
oh my God.
I have no home now. I have no friends or family. And he's like, this was amazing. Like, and then so she vows to like take him out, because he has like no remorse for the amazing battle he's just had. Really weird, but I'm kind of into it. And then the second episode is about a dragon who gets killed by another dragon who's called something the Runner. And this other dragon, I don't know if he's isekai'd, because apparently he can't do anything but fly like a dragon, but he can talk. And he has like a utility belt of just like potions. He even has goggles. And I'm just kind of like, what even is this? Like, it's just the wildest thing I've ever seen.
It sounds like I've got a very, very morbid curiosity about this now. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know if this sounds good or bad, but I might need to give it a watch just to see. This is my
dilemma. I have no idea if I'm just going mad, or this is like the best thing I've ever seen.
I need to know. I need to know. Is this good? Is this bad?
Someone please tell us. Like, if you
tell us if it's good or bad.
Yeah, I need. I don't know what the measuring stick here is. So yeah, let us know in the comments because I need someone to tell me. The last one I'm going to just briefly mention is because I'm because I'm me. Change Soldier. I've been watching it.
You love stuff like this.
I wouldn't say love.
I'm sorry. Do you feel called out?
I mean, look. Some great character designs, and it's fun. It's fun.
That's all. I mean, you do you, man. I'm not here to yuck your yum. You're like, don't say it like that. Don't say it like that.
Yeah, it's as someone who reviews anime and is a consumer.
It's
of
your
forms,
job.
I have to watch this.
Absolutely, it's your job.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any more?
That's the last one.
Oh, I got another honorable mention, but only because I'm literally like looking at it right now. I've been watching the latest season of One Piece. I don't have much to say. I just I've been watching it.
Now, level with me. Are you watching it because it came to Netflix here in the UK, but just the latest arc?
No, I'm actually watching it on Crunchyroll.
Oh, okay.
I just do not have the time to put into watching it all. If it was 20 years ago, absolutely I would start from the beginning and I would watch it up to date. But there's just so much. It's got that whole Dragon Ball Z thing of every episode is actually only 10 minutes of episode. The rest of it is all intro end sequence, or this is what happened last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it's kind of like, and like I was just getting exhausted of like skipping through the episodes to watch 5 minutes of new stuff.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it from Egghead. Like I've read the manga. I know what I'm not missing anything. Like I'm just gonna go from there. So
I'm really annoyed that because it's on Netflix in different countries, but here in the UK, we've only got it starts from Egghead. It doesn't have the back catalog
on that, and this is on Netflix, isn't it? You got to like go over to Crunchyroll to get the whole back catalog,
or VPN it.
Yeah, or VPN it.
Yeah. So
who does that? Who would need a reliable VPN from a top class provider? Am I right?
Some say there's one in the link in the description.
Legend has it.
But it's but there we go.
You're done.
That everything?
Yeah, everything on my side. So
magical. I am probably going to call it a day there and carry on watching Change Soldier because I'm a man of integrity and
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and look at a very depressing list of exactly how much time I've wasted watching anime over my entire life.
Have you put that together? Have you? Or
I might have done it while we were doing the podcast. Just trying to work out how. I mean, it just says here I've got a total of. That doesn't seem right. I've watched 8,008 episodes of stuff.
Wow.
And I've got 134.8 days.
Oh man! Say that one more time for me. You've
134.8.
134. Wow.
So I'm a little bit ahead of you,
Yeah.
but not by an awful lot.
What was mine again? I can't remember.
You got a so I think that you've got 112 days,
Right.
but I think the thing is that because you and I have both imported for our list from my anime lists, it takes over everything about those lists as well. So, and with my list, I've got a lot of anime that I have added to my watch list that I've watched, but I've not updated on my anime list to say that I've watched episodes of it. So I think that if something like I just imagine there's probably a lot of series on there that are not up to date at the moment, because I've definitely watched a ton of big animes since I last updated on my anime list, which was when we did that episode way back.
Yeah.
So it's insightful to see.
Excellent. Anyways, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Help your boys out. That'd be nice. And leave a comment. Leave a star rating on your podcast platform. That would also help us out in a big bad way. And I guess we shall see you soon. Any final words from you?
Get out there, watch some good animes. Tell us if that anime on Disney Plus is good, or if it is not good. We're both gonna make our own judgments of it, but like, I need to. Is it good? Like, I don't know if I'm just thinking it's good because it's got lots of flashing lights and cool stuff in it. You know, like when someone makes a hero movie and it's just filled with the things you liked when you were like a kid. It's like, you know, like that trailer of Godzilla X King Kong, like A New Kingdom. Like, I watched that trailer and it activated things in my brain that haven't been activated since I was like 10 years old. Maybe the anime's like that. Who knows? Maybe.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we shall see you soon. Peace.